Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. We're gonna be starting my Halloween tutorial. So we're gonna be starting with a moisturizer. You want to make sure that you moisturize really good for especially for Halloween makeup, since you're gonna be putting a ton of makeup on. And the one that I'm using is by Naked Cosmetics, and it's really good. I actually use this on a lot of my tutorials. Now I'm gonna be taking my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk, and I'm first just outlining what I'm gonna be doing. I'm basically just doing an outline before I start putting the black, but then eventually, I mean, you don't have to do this because eventually I'm just gonna cover my whole face in white. And I actually found out that NYX has like an actual palette, like a small rounded palette, so you don't have to use this eyeliner, but I didn't have it yet, so I just used this, but it works really good. And I'm gonna be just doing that all over my half of the face, and just using my beauty blender so I can blend everything out. And since the beauty blender does remove a lot of it out, well, just blends it all out, I'm just gonna keep on going and keep on putting that white pencil all over my face again. Bitch, I swear I'm with your bitch, okay? Hey, I told her break it. So since we're going to be going over our eyebrows, we don't want that to go over or to be seen by the black, to go through the black eyeshadow that we're gonna put on top. We're gonna be using a glue stick to cover them up and to just make the eyebrows just literally stick to your skin. And now I'm gonna be using this crayon pencil in black, I believe, by Doucce Cosmetics. I believe I'm saying them right. And I'm basically gonna be using this pencil for every outline that I do that requires black. You want to make sure that you use something that's a very black. This one wasn't as black though, so I really do not regret it, but throughout the video you're gonna see that I have some spots that I kind of left and I didn't mean to. And now, after you paint your eye with a black liner or whatever black that you have, we're going to set this paint with eyeshadow. And you really want to do this because throughout the day, if you do use this for Halloween, you're gonna be sweating, you know, it's gonna be coming off, so you really want to make that as even darker too. The black eyeshadow will make it a little bit darker, but you just wanted to set it to make sure that it lasts all night. And now here I'm just going to start doing the side part where our teeth are going to be showing. And right here I'm just basically doing like the back of the jaw, which is going to be all shaded in. There's no, I mean, that's where the skull is sculpted in. So we're just going to be doing that all black. And throughout the video you're going to see that I mess up and I brought it out too big. I feel not too big, too close to the mouth area. I mean, later on it turns out good, but just practice before you do this. I definitely didn't practice as much, so I feel like for my first try it was pretty good. But now we're gonna be doing the same thing, just setting it with a black eyeshadow, and I'm gonna go all the way to the front, like to the very top of my temple. Not to the very top, but yeah, very close to my side area of my temples, just because I really want that like shadow reflection. So now after I bring it all the way close to my mouth, I'm gonna be just using my beauty blender, and I'm gonna be using the white side where we blended the white side, I mean the pointy side, no, the big side. And we're going to just blend that a little bit, just so that it gives it a little bit of a different like shade, kind of like a shadow shade. And now I'm gonna be moving on to my teeth. And let me just tell you, I suck at this, so don't look at my video, I mean for the teeth, for reference. I feel like I really sucked at it, but I made it work towards the end. I mean, it doesn't look like the best teeth in the world, but it was okay, girl. So just make it work, just draw lines. And you can see here, I'm like, what the hell am I doing? But now when I started doing this, I kind of started getting the shape of the teeth. So with the same pencil, we're gonna be doing this kind of like a diamond shape towards the end of those lines, and that's basically gonna shape the teeth. And now I'm gonna go back to that same white pencil that we used and just go over the teeth so we can brighten them a little bit more. And as you do this, of course you're gonna get black on your pencil, so just make sure that you're wiping it before you're putting it on. And now I'm gonna be using that same eyeshadow, black eyeshadow that I used on my eye and on every other part of the black that we used, and I'm just gonna be touching up the areas that already had the black eyeliner. So going back with the teeth and blending out whatever I messed up on. So basically, if you're not good at them, then you're gonna have to be going back and forth trying to fix them. But just watch this. You're gonna get a hint of what I'm trying to get, or what I'm trying to establish here. So now I'm gonna be going down just so I can make a little bit like of shades, or just a little bit more of like, I don't know what I was trying to do here, just a little more shadows. But basically go back and forth with the white, with more black, whatever. So now I'm gonna be doing my nose, and I'm gonna be doing half of it, of course. So I'm gonna be doing, you know, that skull nose that goes down, and on this part I'm going to cut it, like end it there. But I mean, if you can do go all the way to the other side. I mean, we're gonna be covering that with the fake blood and everything, so it doesn't really matter. And then I'm gonna be doing just filling everything in, and once again you're gonna be using your shadow to set all that. And what's good about this is that with the pencil that I'm using, I'm just basically perfecting that skull nose. I feel like I'm saying school. That skull nose. And now I'm gonna be doing the other side of my face, just putting a little bit of foundation on, and then I'm gonna be putting a little bit of concealer on as well, basically what I would do on my regular face routine. And I'm just gonna put a little bit just because a lot of it is gonna be covered in blood either way. But I'm gonna be setting my face, not setting it, just going over my eye, and that's gonna be like the primer for my eyeshadows. And then I'm gonna be doing the eyeshadow off camera because I want to do a tutorial on it, maybe adding a little bit more colors or something like that. But now after you put your eyelashes and a bomb eyeshadow, I did something that really like popped out, just because the other side is basically just plain, just black and white, so I really wanted that other side to pop out. So now I'm gonna be putting more black into the other side. I'm gonna be using that pencil that we used for the black shadows, and I'm only gonna be using a shadow. So I'm gonna be doing that under my eye and then over the jaw part, basically wherever we have that curves and wherever there needs to be shadows. Basically I'm gonna be doing the depth of the face, the skull. And with another clean brush, something a little bit more fluffy, I'm gonna be blending everything out just so it doesn't look as sharp, and just so you can really see that it's kind of like, you know, more depth into more depth. That's what I'm trying. I can't even say it, more depth. I'm so Mexican, I'm so sorry. But basically more like realness to the skull. That's what I'm just gonna do now. So after we contour, we're going to be taking some school glue, some Elmer's glue, any school glue that you have, and some toilet paper or tissue paper or whatever is very thin, something that's very thin. And we're gonna be putting glue all over that part, that like section that we're cutting through, like in the middle of our face. And then we're going to put the paper on, and then we're going to put more glue on the paper. And you really want to make sure that you like soak in the paper and glue that to your face. And I'm going to be doing this a couple of times just because a lot of the paper doesn't glue into the nose part. So I'm going to be grabbing more paper, and grabbing more paper also just makes it a little bit more realistic when it comes to opening up the wound part, basically. So I'm gonna be just doing that, repeating that same process and putting a little bit more paper, just so we can get a little more thicker consistency when it comes to the scar area. So this is what it's gonna turn out, and then you're gonna wait a little bit for it to harden. And then if you have nails, this is very easy. And I'm just gonna be basically opening up the wound, and be careful because when I was opening it, it was coming off, and I just had to put a little bit more glue. But just opening up the wound all the way to the bottom part. And after this, my favorite part is going to come up. Well, not my favorite part, the whole video was my favorite part. But after this, we're going to start painting this scar basically. And when I started doing this, I was like, I don't like the white, so I went back to my concealer and I just put that all over the wound just so we can see like my skin ripping off, you know. So I'm gonna be putting that, and then using a beauty blender, just blend that all over the skin. And make sure that after you do this, you open up the wound again. I didn't do that for the top part. You can kind of see that it's flat, so make sure that you open up a little bit again, just because once you blend it, it's like flat, so you won't be able to really see like the opening. But once I start getting down, I start opening it more a little bit, so you can see it right here. And I'm using a black shadow just because I feel like that's gonna make the red, like the blood, really dark. And the really dark blood, I mean, that's blood, you know. That's a real blood. And then I'm gonna be going with a purple shadow, and I'm gonna be putting that as well. I feel like the purple, the dark one, didn't work as well, so I'm just gonna go back to that same palette but using the lighter purple, because that's gonna pop out more. And this is basically gonna be like our bruised up purplish, you know, that kind of color. And now I'm gonna be using a blending brush so I can put that all over. And now I'm gonna be using a red color, and I'm using this from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And basically this is like the blood like base for the actual blood. And I'm just gonna be repeating the same process. Make sure that you really go in like the actual parts of like in the opening areas. And yeah, after this, you're gonna get some vampire blood or whatever fake blood you have, and just run this all over. And the way that I'm doing this is I'm tilting my face so the blood goes mainly on the scarring part, and I'm just gonna dab that on the scar as well. And basically just do this all over. Once you have the perfect amount that you want, I'm gonna be dripping more, I'm gonna be putting a lot more. And that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please like and share with your friends, and if you do this or recreate this, make sure that you tag me on Instagram or show me. Bye guys, have a great day.